Hi there, I'm out at Edale in the Peak District at the railway station. Now we've recently had some snow down, which is quite a rare occurrence, and I didn't want to miss out. So I thought I'll get myself out there and have a wild camp in the snow. Quite often in the UK we get snow down for a few days and then it's gone. So I thought I better get out and make the most of it. Now around these parts, probably one of the highest places is Kinder Scout. It's a massive plateau at about 2,000 feet. So if there's going to be any decent accumulations of snow, it's going to be up there. The route I'm going to take, I'm going to go up through Edale village and then up Ringing Roger. It's very steep with a bit of a scramble at the top, but you are up there in about an hour, or in my case probably 2 to 3 hours, because I'll be filming and taking photographs on the way up. I just took a photograph from here showing that there's very little snow down at the station, but if you look up on top you can see quite decent accumulations on the top of Kinder Scout. I'll just show it you. As you can see down here, it's only patchy snow really, but looking up on the top of Kinder that you can just see there looks a fair amount of snow, so hopefully we should be lucky and we'll find some decent snow to camp in. We're on the top of Kinder now, near Nethertor. That's looking down to Edale, where we've just come from. The rocky outcrop in the centre of the photo, that's Ringing Roger. And just beyond that, you can just make out the Great Ridge that runs from Lucille on the left to Mamtor. Just amazing. We're on the southern edge of Kinder now. Plenty of snow down here, so I'm going to have a look for somewhere to camp round here. There's a lot of cloud just drifting in. That's the tent all pitched. I've just been down to a little stream just to pick up some water. That should last me through the night and tomorrow breakfast. You could say, why not melt snow? Well, it would take an awful lot of snow to get that amount of water and a lot of fuel. Obviously this will need filtering, so that'll be the next stage. But it's a nice campsite. I'll just show you around with the camera so you can see it. That's looking at the Kinder Scout plateau at around 2,000 feet. As you can see, I found a nice sheltered spot to pitch my tent. The edge path, that's only about 50 metres away, and through that cloud you can just make out Grinsbrook Knoll. Feels like I'm on top of the world up here. All settled in the tent now. Time for a cup of coffee. Got my whisper light on. You need a liquid fuel stove for conditions like this. I don't think a gas stove would work, and it certainly won't last long. So this whisper light with Coleman fuel I've got, it seems to work in any temperatures. So I think I'll have a cup of coffee and that'll warm me up. It must take me an hour to get everything set up in the tent. It's snow down everywhere, you can't put stuff down, and it just takes such a lot longer. Everything takes longer in the snow. While I've got all this snow about, you could say, I thought I might have a go at melting some. You do have to put a lot in to get some water. It's best to have about an inch of water in your pot already. Fill it up with the whitest, cleanest snow you can find, and then just melt it. So if you've got plenty of fuel, it's probably the way to go. I'm gonna melt enough for my water bottle for tomorrow morning. I will then have to boil it again, really, to purify it. You could boil it again or filter it again. That's how you need to purify it, but before you actually drink it, to be 100% safe. I have a feeling it would be perfectly okay, because at the end of the day it's distilled water that comes down, and nothing's really affected it. I thought I'd show you what I'm having for tea before the light fades. It's like my take on a Chinese meal. So we've got some noodles there. I've sort of vacuum packed all these, so they just need adding. That is stir fry vegetables and bean sprouts, again vacuum packed, and they went down to nothing. Got sweet chilli sauce over there, and just so I've got some protein, there's about 3/4 pound of ribeye steak. So that is all going in the frying pan soon, and that should give me enough food to keep me warm overnight. Somewhere else there's some tomato soup to start with, and some odd bits of biscuits for my afters. So I'll try and show you that, but I dare say we'll see how the light goes. It's going to go dark soon, so I'll be cooking in the dark, I reckon. So the stir-fry veg, noodles and the steak, that's all been cooking for about 5 or so minutes. The steak probably a bit longer. I'm just going to add this sweet chilli sauce now. So that should give it a bit of flavour. Better than a pot noodle, this. This is my version of a Chinese meal. So I'll just let that probably simmer away. The simmer control, not too accurate on the whisper light. So I say that's probably cooked now. I cut the steak up into smaller pieces so it would cook a bit quicker. But all the noodles and stir fry is nice and soft and cooked. So I think I'll get on and enjoy that, and I'm sure that will keep me warm through tonight. Looks very tasty, does that, and very warming. Well, that meal certainly warmed me up. I've actually got the tent door wide open. One, because I'm warm, and two, I had to set the camera up in the doorway. So that's why I've got the door open. I think camping in the snow is probably more of an adventure than your summer camping. It just feels, I mean, you could be anywhere, and it just feels like it's a real adventure. Everything's a lot harder. I mean, for me to go and get that water, it took me ages. Setting the tent up and getting all your gear in, you can't put anything down on the floor. So it'll get wet, so it all takes longer. Your hands are cold. But at the end of the day, once you're in, you're okay. I think I camp in these places like Kinder and Bleaklow in winter. I think it's my way of convincing myself I'm not getting old. If I can still do a winter camp on Kinder Scout, well, I can't be getting old. That's what I think anyway. And that brings me on to, I do get a lot of comments from, if I can say, my older viewers, subscribers, and I do appreciate all your comments. But the main thing you all say is, yeah, I remember going up there in my younger days. And I can see where you're coming from. I'm starting to get a bit older myself. And you wonder how many years you've got of coming up here. So I can see from a lot of older people that they're not able to get out due to one thing or the other. So if my videos are bringing back memories of your younger days, well, that's great, it is. I dare say when you used to come up here 40, 50 years ago, you were probably a lot fitter than some of us. You probably ran up, walked all over the area. You didn't have as much gear as we did. And I dare say the bit of gear you had, like a tent, rucksack, sleeping bag, was probably twice the weight of what we carry today. So if it is bringing back memories, that's great, it is. At the end of the day, we're all getting older, so you've just got to get out and do as much as you can while you can. I must admit, this last week, I knew this camp were coming up. I got it planned. And at night time I might pop out, go to the garage and that, and you think, God, it's blowing a gale, it's freezing cold, it's raining. Do I really want to be out in this? So there's a little bit of apprehension there. But once I'm out, it's fantastic. All those thoughts or worries, they disappear. And you're out on a wild camp and it just takes over. What a fantastic time. So all I can say, if you've any apprehension, push it to one side. Get yourself out and enjoy yourself while you can. So what am I going to do now? Let me think. Well, I brought my phone and I usually bring a spare battery to back it up. I didn't think I'd have any 4G here, but I have. So I've only got a limited battery life on my phone, so I might have a little look at it, but not for too long. What I have brought, because I didn't think I'd get a 4G signal, I brought a little radio. I've not brought that for quite a few camps. So I think I'll listen to that while away a couple of hours and that. Got some drinking chocolate. I'll have that before I go to sleep as a last drink. And then hopefully I shall have a good night's sleep. So, if nothing of interest happens in the night, which I'm sure it won't, I'll see you in the morning. See you in a bit. Good morning there. Just getting my breakfast ready. I'm using the water I melted from the snow last night, so I'm boiling it at the moment just to purify it. Simple breakfast, cup of coffee. Normally I would have porridge, but there wasn't any in the cupboard at home, so I got some Weetabix as instead, and they haven't travelled well. I did vacuum pack them and they literally turned to dust, but with a bit of powdered milk and a bit of water, they'll provide a breakfast. Now the weather has completely changed. I think a warm front has come over. It's been raining all night. Most of the snow would appear to have gone. I'm about as high as you can get around here. It's now thick fog, driving drizzle, and you can't see anything. You know, just normal Kinder Scout weather. Now, this was a winter camp with snow, so I'm not filming rain and drizzle and fog, because you can do that anytime. So I'm going to get all my gear packed up and make my way back down to the car park, and I'll have a last word with you down there. So I'll see you in a bit. Just leaving camp now. We're on the top where we were yesterday, which was covered in snow. As you can see, there's hardly anything left, so in probably, I don't know, 6 hours it's nearly all gone. This is where I got my water from last night. There was hardly anything coming down. I had to use a cup to bail it into my water bag. And look at that now. Just coming down, ringing Roger at the moment. There's about 40-mile-an-hour wind and driving rain. To think this area were covered in snow yesterday. Down there somewhere is Edale, where we're heading to. Back down at Edale station now. I think we can say we definitely found some snow. Wild, adventurous, exhilarating, unforgettable. Just a few words I can think to describe it. Not so good coming down in all the rain and the mist. I'm glad I managed to do a proper winter camp in the snow. As you can see, in the UK, it's here one day, gone the next. So I'm off home now, dry all my kit out, ready for the next adventure. See you then. Bye.